Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Aamsuntitledpodcast. I'm Am. Hi, if you've never met me before, it's really nice to meet you. Welcome to my Percy Jackson podcast, where we talk all things Percy Jackson, the books, TV shows, Heroes of Olympus, the best of Percabeth. In the last few episodes, I have been reviewing the books. So if you haven't heard my review of any of the books, please go and check that out first. I've also reviewed the show as well. That's the first thing I kind of started with on this podcast. So I recommend you guys going in and listening into that. So I've decided that today we're going to be looking into the best of Percabeth. Now, we spent a lot of time over the last few days looking for the best Percabeth moments in the show. And what I realized was it was impossible for me to pick just one moment from each episode. Because my original idea was to just make one episode per thing. So, like, one episode for the best moments in the TV show, one episode on the best moments in the first five books, one on the best of Heroes of Olympus, and one on Chalice of the Gods. But what I realized was that there are so many incredible Percabeth scenes that I want to talk about. And I know that I would be disappointed in myself if I cut like half of it out. So what I've decided to do is I've done each episode separately. So the best of Percabeth in each episode, starting from episode 2, because of course episode 1 is more of just Percy introducing himself. There's not a lot of Percabeth stuff that goes on in that episode. He doesn't meet Annabeth until right at the end. So I've started from episode 2. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about the best of Percabeth in episode 2, which is I Become the Supreme Lord of the Bathroom. So the first Percabeth scene we're going to talk about is the infirmary. So that's the opening scene of the episode, and sort of Percy's drifting out of drifting in and out of consciousness, and Annabeth says her iconic line from the books, which is "You drool when you sleep." Now, Leah's disinterested face in this just gives me life. Like, she plays Annabeth so well. Like, she says it exactly how I imagined Annabeth would say it. And obviously, Percy doesn't have an effing clue what's going on. And he's like, huh? What? Like, bless him. He's just, I do feel sorry for him because there's this random girl that's just like having a dig at him while he's sleeping. And yeah, I just thought that that was a great Percabeth moment because I think it kind of sets the tone of their relationship for the rest of these episodes. It's very, very book accurate. And I love that. I live for book accurate representations. Like, this is one ship that when I heard they were doing the show, I was a little bit concerned because I was like, I love them so much. I can't think of any actors that can bring that chemistry to life. But Walker and Leah, I very, very proudly say that I was wrong. I'm not somebody who is shameful about admitting when they're wrong about something. They've done such a great job. They are young actors. They're like 12 and 13. Like, they're kids, and the way they bring this to life is just perfection. Just honest perfection. So the next scene that we're going to be talking about is the bathroom scene. Obviously, after Percy beats up on Clarice, it's officially the first time he's introduced to Annabeth. And he was like, I know you. Like, I remember you from the infirmary, which is already worth remembering in his mind. Did you see what I just did there? Just, I'm just kidding. You know what? I say I'm kidding, but everybody knows that I'm being genuinely serious. And you know what really struck me about this scene is that I think Annabeth deep down knows that there is something special about Percy. Like, she feels drawn to him. Like, that he's like this magnetic field that she can't help but feel a pull towards. And I love that when he asks her, "Are you stalking me?" And she just blatant's like, "Yeah, yes, I am." And I remember when I was watching that scene, my mum was sat on the sofa with me, and she just burst out laughing. She was like, honestly, like my mum, like she's never seen the show. Like she only like sees bits of the show like when I'm watching it. And she just so happened to be sat with me like that day when I was talking about it. And she just burst out laughing and she goes, "Oh my God, like she's so honest. I love it." And I was like, "Yeah, that's why I love her so much." And I keep telling people, I swear, it's like Rick literally just shook the book so hard and Walker, Leah, and Orion fell out. Like, honestly, I literally feel that. I'm just like, they're so biblically accurate. Like, it literally just blows my mind. Like, honestly. Um, and I love that they've got this chemistry. And I don't think, like, Walker and Leah really realize how intense this is about to get. I think my mum was laughing at me because she's like, "You get so excited over like the smallest things," and like my all of my family knows that I'm not a romantic person. Like, I don't read romantic books. It's not really my thing. To be honest, I kind of find it quite cliche and quite cringy, which is ironic because my best friend loves romance, and we're always like neck to neck arguing about why romance books are even a thing. But when I told her about Percabeth and this like relationship that I was so invested in, even she was shocked. She was like, I just can't believe that you're so invested in this. I'm trying to get her into Percy Jackson, guys. It's not working." And like, I thought the only way like I can bribe her into reading the books is like to tell her about Percabeth and just be like, honestly, like these two, like they're a slow burn. And my friend loves slow burns. And she's like, like I really want to read it now. I was like, yeah, see, I told you. I told you. And she's like, is it not a kid's book? I was like, no, it's not. I was like, I talked about this in like the book reviews where it's more adult than people actually realize. And that's like I've been saying, I might have mentioned it a few episodes ago where I was talking to my aunt about it when we went to Harry Potter World. Did I mention this to you guys? I don't know if I did. Last Monday I was in Harry Potter World. um and obviously I'm a huge Harry Potter fan as well. And like me and my aunt were sat in the car on the way there because it's quite a drive from where I am. And she said to me, like, I've never read Percy Jackson. And I was like, how? You people love like fantasy. Like, literally, my love for fantasy comes from my aunts because they sort of got me into Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Game of Thrones, that sort of thing. So I was like, Hunger Games as well, actually, although that's not really fantasy, is it? That's more dystopian, but whatever. You get the point. And I was like, you have to read it. Like, you guys actually have to read it. Like, it's so good. And she was like, oh, can I borrow the books from you? I goes, yeah, sure, anytime. I was like, I need somebody else to discuss Percy Jackson with. This is why I've had to start a podcast because I haven't got anybody else to talk to about this sort of stuff. Like, we talk about it as friends, but like, it's different because I'm a nerd. So I like to like geek out about it properly. And my friends might think that that's a bit too much. Anyway, let's move on. I went on a whole last tangent there to say one thing. But yeah, like I said, I swear it feels like Rick just shook this book and Walker and Leah like fell out. Honestly, I don't know what kind of magic he had when he cast those two. Honestly, no idea. But they are so amazing. The next scenes that we're going to be talking about is in Capture the Flag. Now, I liked this bit because this is obviously the first time Percy and Annabeth are kind of like alone, and the first thing he does is fall flat on his face. And Annabeth just turns around and looks at him and she just rolls her eyes and she carries on walking. Now that made me laugh because that moment was an improvisation, which I thought was so funny. And I'm happy that the show left it in. But also, I feel like it kind of sums up their relationship in a nutshell for people who have never read the books. Like, that is Percy and Annabeth. Like, Percy just doing stupid things and Annabeth just rolling her eyes. Like, that is their relationship. And I love it. I love it. It's so... What's the word I'm looking for here? Like, it's so real. And I love that. Like, it's... They're not... Do you know what I care about them? Is that they don't set unrealistic standards of love. Like, whatever happens between them over the course of the years, over the things that happen in the book as well, none of it is unrealistic. And it's very like unexpected as well. Like, I was talking to my friend about this. I was like, it's like when I read the books for the first time and when Percy started to show these feelings for Annabeth and like, I could see the chemistry like between them, but I didn't want to do anything because because it's a slow burn, obviously. Nothing intimate ever happened between them. So maybe I just thought maybe I'm just reading too far into things like I always do. And it wasn't until book 4 when she kissed him that I was like, yeah, I kind of knew she had feelings for him. Like there was a few times, like a few things that she said in the books that kind of. But I always thought like it was like a one-sided thing, and I was just like, oh, that's really sad. But then like when Percy started like carrying her picture around and stuff, and he says like like I don't know, I just understood like that relationship. Like they're one of those relationships, like I say it to everybody, as cliche as this sounds, like they don't have to say, I love you. Say it. Like you just see it in their actions and the way that they behave around each other. And I love that. Yeah. I really appreciate that standard of love. Again, I went on a tangent. I was supposed to be talking about the scene. But yeah, that capture the flag scene was so good. Um, and then as they're walking, Annabeth sees Percy's armor, and of course it's not done properly, and she adjusts his armor just like she does in the book. I love that they put these little things in because book fans, like particularly me, I remember when I was watching it, I was like taking notes, and I was like, yeah, that's from the book, that's from the book, that's from the book. I'm one of those annoying people that I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Guys, we are watching. I'm gonna keep saying this, like one of the best slow burns of all time, like unfold right in front of our eyes. Like these two, in like years to come, we're gonna be like talking about like whatever happened in the first season is gonna be like almost not trivial, but like nothing compared to what's going to happen in the future. And I'm so excited. Like, I don't think anybody realized how excited I truly am about this. And honestly, guys, can we just talk about one thing, which is the way that he looks at her? Oh my god. Walker's eye contact is insane. Like, the way he doesn't blink when he looks at her. And I'm just like, how? How do you not, like, blink? Like, oh gosh, guys. They are just so adorable. And yeah, it's only going to get better. Like that's what I keep telling myself. Like it's only going to get better in seasons to come. Things are just going to get better, and I love that. I'm really excited. And then the last scene that we're going to be talking about in this episode is the scene just before Percy gets claimed by Poseidon, and it's obviously Annabeth shoving him into the water because she suspects that he's the son of Poseidon. Although I know for a fact that she secretly enjoyed shoving him in, and I think she would have done it regardless of whether she wanted him to be claimed or not. And the way she looks at him, after he's been claimed, like he's like, "Oh, what's wrong with you? Like, what have you just done?" Basically, and like she's looking at him so intensely, and yeah, when the trident appears over his head that he's been claimed, she's smiling almost, and guys. I just can't take it. Like they're just too cute. Like there is nobody that can tell me they're not cute. And yeah, that scene was just they were just so good, like from the first episode, and I was just like, yeah, they're gonna they're gonna do my Percabeth ship like proud. Like I'm honestly, by the time it comes to an end, I think I'm gonna be really upset, but then I'm also gonna be really happy as well because I would have finally seen an accurate representation of Percabeth. Yeah, it's just they make a relationship that everybody wants. And Rick, oh, I'm so happy he's one of the writers on the show. Like honestly, he's able to create like some of these moments are not from the book. Like he's given them new moments that are just as beautiful as the things that happen in the book. But yeah, love Walker and Leah in this. Honestly, they're just chef's kiss perfection. I just there's just no other word that I can think of. Like there's no comments that I've read. Like what you guys don't realize is I do a lot like of deep dive. Like when people host like watch parties and there's like the comments and things. I tend to read a lot of comments. And when it comes to Percabeth chemistry, there are no negative comments. Like I've never come across any negative comments about them. I have no negative comments myself to make about them because they're perfect. That's all I can say. Like they're exactly what I imagine Percy and Annabeth to be. Yes, they may look different, but that's not the point. When you're adapting a story, like I think what people don't understand is I know so many people who were annoyed about Leah being cast and like the kind of racist trolls and like even the death threats that she was getting. She's just a little girl, guys. Like ease off a little bit. Like she was cast and picked by Rick. Okay? Rick wouldn't have picked anyone for this. Yeah. He wasn't looking at how that person looked on the outside. He was looking at what they bring to the character and how they embody that character. And Leah is the perfect Annabeth. And I'm not like disagreeing with anybody. Like all you trollers, like leave her alone because she is absolutely perfect. And Walker as Percy, yes, Walker doesn't look any well, he looks a little bit similar to Percy. Like he has the smirk. I see a lot of memes and things where he has like a lot of Percy's like Persassy energy, his sense of humor, that sort of thing. But in terms of physical appearance, like he doesn't look like Percy. But that's fine because he embodies what it means to be Percy. And to me, that's the most important thing. Like if an actor embodies the character, especially when they're playing a book character really well, like I don't care what they look like. I only care about what they bring to the character. And yeah, those two are pure perfection. And I'm so happy that Leah is proving everybody wrong. Everybody who doubted her, she's proven them wrong. And slay, Queen, because honestly, she's amazing. She deserves all the awards that she's getting and all the praises for her performance. Even Walker, like, he really does deserve it because he's done this character so well. And I'm so happy that I was like there when the show began because there'll be people that come to this like halfway through the seasons and stuff. And I'm happy that I've been there from the beginning. It makes me so excited for what the future holds. So yeah, sorry. I had a little ramble towards the end. That always happens, you know. I just can't help it. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening in. I really hope that you enjoyed the episode. Next episode is going to be the best of Percabeth in episode 3. I think I have a few pointers to talk about in that episode, so stay tuned for that. Episodes are available to stream on my YouTube channel and on my Spotify. You can follow me on both. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel whilst you're there. It'd be very much appreciated. Follow me on Instagram at Aamsuntitledpodcast. Feel free to DM any questions, any content recommendations. Let me know what your guys' favourite Percabeth moments are. Do you guys love Percabeth in the show as much as I do? Is there any scenes that you guys are excited to see? I know there's a few that I'm waiting for in future seasons, particularly for season 2. I'm looking forward to Siren Bay. I'm interested to see what they do with Siren Bay. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening in. If you're still here, thanks. And I will speak to you guys sometime next week. Mwah. Bye.